And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to All Sports West New York. Bob Kuczynski back with you. It's been a busy week, what with the Bills game, the Browns game that we had right here on WBBZ. We had the Fred Jackson Show Friday and Monday. And the Bills have had a lot going on out there at Ralph Wilson Stadium because brand new quarterback, Thad Lewis, will be the starting quarterback. Doug Marrone talked yesterday about what happened with all the injuries since the Browns game, how the Bills have gone about it. Let's hear from the coach about the Buffalo Bills injury situation.
The players who've been injured, you take Stephon Gilmore and Ron Brooks and, a couple, and even Jarris Byrd. Okay, the one thing, Marquise Goodwin, the one thing that they've shown is they want to be out there. Okay, and then the guys that are playing that are hurt, C.J. Spiller, Fred Jackson, Aaron Williams, Stevie Johnson, Marcel Darius, obviously Mario, what he's done, Kyle Williams, there's a lot of those players. The one thing that I see and that I appreciate is that, the players are having a tougher time not being out there competing. If you're asking me, I feel good about a lot of those players, if not all of them.
As I said, quarterback Thad Lewis off the practice squad will be starting against the Bengals. Thad Lewis talked about what it means to go into the NFL on a second start.
Football is football. Last year's game was a great experience, a humbling experience, and a childhood dream, to start an NFL game. But since I've started an NFL game, now it's time to move on, and you know what to do, you know what to expect, you know how you have to prepare this week, and just go about business as usual. You go out here today on the walkthrough, and you show everybody you know what to do. The mic points, the plays, the protection, and guys feel comfortable with that. And so as long as I have 3 days, to practice and gel together and obviously get timing with the right receivers. But as long as you know what you're doing, and the guys will rally behind you.
Now, never short on opinion, Bucky Gleason and Jerry Sullivan. Of course, they do the Bucky and Sully Show Monday and Fridays right here on WBBZ live at 7 o'clock. Last night, they talked about Thad Lewis as a starting QB.
Okay, Sully, so really what we're talking about here, it's not the inexperience, I think, that is the issue. It's the unknown. We have no idea how this kid's going to play, just like we had no idea how Jeff Tuel is going to play. You really didn't even know how E.J. Manuel was going to play until he started playing. So let's see what happens. Let's give this kid a chance. I know that you think that the Bills should have signed a veteran guy. I don't know if you still feel that way, but you thought that at one point.
There wasn't a lot out there. I would have liked to see Freeman come in. They went after Freeman. Freeman didn't want to come here. He wanted to go to Minnesota. Lewis is a smart, humble guy, and he's very confident. I don't know if that came through on that clip, but I asked him some questions. Would he have been disappointed if he didn't get this assignment? And he wasn't fazed by anything. Really a team guy. It's also his fourth team in 4 years in the NFL. Sorry. There's a reason for that, Buck. So he played 4 years of college. A lot of guys do. There's 200 colleges that play football.
Yeah, the problem is, Sully, is that there's not 32
good enough is the question.
That's the problem. There's not enough quarterbacks that can play at a high level in the NFL. They're just not.
So maybe he's going to be a sleeper, and maybe he's going to light it up. And you're right in one point. We still don't know about E.J. Manuel. E.J. has the size, the athletic ability, he has a lot of command and poise, but he's got a lot to prove, and we've known that all along. If they brought in a guy like Freeman and he starts winning, that could have created problems. I think they would welcome that. I mean, not problems, but they don't mind giving a challenge to E.J. Manuel. What if Lewis starts winning games? I don't expect that.
And the Bucky Sully Show on WBBZ-TV, Mondays and Fridays, live at 7 o'clock. And in case you're wondering, Jerry Sullivan lost a bet. That's why he was wearing the Ryan Fitzpatrick jersey on last night's show. Also last night, it was a Fred Jackson Show, and the captain of the team talked about the new quarterback for the Buffalo Bills.
That's one of the things that, is the benefit of having a guy like Thaddeus on the practice squad is he knows the offense. He knows what it is we're trying to get accomplished. Guys have some familiarity with him, and anytime you can get that and get a guy like Thaddeus to come in and, give him a good week to practice, I think that's the best opportunity we have to go win this football game this weekend. I like what he has to bring to the table, and I'm actually looking forward to see what he does this weekend.
And the Fred Jackson Show comes to you every Monday night live at 7:30. Fred will be back next week. We're hoping to see Stevie Johnson as his guest. So the Buffalo Bills have taken a quarterback off the practice squad and given him the start against the Cincinnati Bengals. How did this all come about? You remember, they drafted E.J. Manuel, they brought in Cobb, and they had Jeff Toole, who was an undrafted free agent. Now they've got Thad Lewis. Yesterday, Doug Marrone explained how we got to this point.
In the beginning, when we knew we were going to draft a quarterback, is to make sure that we did have a veteran on the team. And at that point, it was a process of trying to going out and getting the best, veteran possible that had the ability to play and win. That was the best fit for the team. At that time, right, wrong, and different, we went obviously with Kevin Cobb. The next situation that came in was how many do you go to camp with now? Because now you got a young quarterback. Obviously we liked Jeff Toole, and we had Kevin Cobb with us. So the situation went back to how do we develop the young quarterback, how fast we bring him along. So we went to camp with 3. And again, if someone was to tell me that you were going to have these injuries, I would have went to camp with 4. But that's difficult to know because obviously our goal was developing the quarterbacks. Obviously what happens is we get, Kevin gets injured, EJ goes in and really develops faster than we expected, in that short period of time. So now we're in a decision of, hey, this guy's going to play. He's going to be our quarterback. Then we get an injury to EJ. And that's where Jeff had been playing and playing very well. Jeff, at the time that Kevin Cobb was injured and EJ was injured, was the only guy that really knew the system of what we were doing. That's why we didn't play him in the Detroit game. And then so what we did is we went out and we brought in 2 veterans, in our opinion, veteran guys. Even though, Thaddeus might have been a younger guy, Matt Leinart has been around longer, and really put them in a tough situation, to come in here and play on a short week and go in there. We made a decision to go with, obviously, Thaddeus. We were fortunate at that time that Thaddeus had practice squad eligibility. What we didn't want to do, if you look at it from a standpoint of Jeff Toole, the way he played in the preseason, and you look at his numbers, really outside of EJ, probably played as well as any young quarterback in the league. And what we didn't want to have happen was someone to go ahead and take away a young developing quarterback from under us. So we made a decision to go with 2 on the roster, with EJ and Jeff, and then having Thaddeus on our practice squad. So in doing so, we're working the reps going in, and then I think what happened the other night was, obviously, injury occurs to EJ. We put Jeff in there, which was a tough situation. I think, you always look at yourself, and I brought Jeff in and spoke to him. Hey, it was a tough situation. It was a short week, very difficult to go in there. We feel that you're a good, young, developing quarterback. We're very excited about having you. And Jeff's response to me was, Coach, I appreciate it, but, my job is to go in there and win the game. And that's the way he went about it.
And Doug Marrone explaining how we've gotten to this point. And, just to throw in my own 2 cents, for one thing, the Buffalo Bills are definitely better under this coaching staff. You can see it on the defensive side of the ball, and the offense with a rookie quarterback has managed to score points. They've been in every single game, even the ones that they've lost. Unfortunately, now E.J. Manuel, who's suffered 2 knee injuries in 7 weeks, could be out anywhere between 2 to 8 weeks. I'm guessing it's going to be closer to 4. So now you're going to have Thad Lewis in there against teams that the Bills should be very competitive against had they had E.J. Manuel. Has the season been a waste? I don't think so. I think this coaching staff has shown that we should see better things up ahead. The question is, when will they all get together and be healthy enough to play? The Bills are obviously important. When we come back, we'll take a look at just how important they are to the rest of the region right after this.